Good morning, and welcome to the OCLC Macros and Other Shortcuts. My name is Sherry Schuler-Faust, and I'm a CMC cataloger at Illinois Heartland Library System, located in the Edwardsville, Illinois location. Okay, so today we're going to discuss some of the shortcuts within the OCLC Connection client software that make the task of cataloging a little less time-consuming. I'll talk about using the quick search box, the installed macros, text strings, what they are and how to use them, key maps, and using the classify option for retrieving a classification number. Okay, using the quick search box under the main client toolbar, you can search for ISBN, OCLC numbers, title, etc. It's a time saver by using the two-letter index label and a colon. This search gives you a browse search based on the index label you've entered. For ISBN, there's searches that does not require an index label. You can actually just wander or scan your ISBN into the box. Okay, macros are an automated input sequence that initiates keystrokes or mouse actions. A macro is typically used to replace a repetitive series of keyboard and mouse actions. Macros help reduce the time it takes to manually complete a task and reduces errors. OCLC has several macros installed within the software located on the main toolbar within the Tools tab. Adding and using macros in OCLC can save time by eliminating several steps, whether you're cataloging an original record or editing an existing record. This slide and the next slide will show you how to find where the installed macros are located and how to keep the macros open for easy use. To utilize the installed macros on the menu bar, click on Tools, then Macros, and Manage. The macro screen opens with the OCLC tab and a plus sign. Click on the plus sign to open all the possible macros for OCLC. Click on any macro and then click OK. The macro box should close. When you open the macros again, the OCLC macros will remain open and displayed. You should only have to do this once, as now the macro display has been generated to stay open. Going through the long steps of Tools plus Macros plus Manage can be avoided by adding the Tools icon to your toolbar. On the menu bar, click on Tools, Toolbar Editor. Find the Tools Macro Manage icon. To me, it looks like a flashlight. I've heard other people say it looks like a wand. Drag the icon up to the toolbar. Once the icon is on your toolbar, you can begin to use it to populate your bibliographic record with any of the available macros. Double-clicking on the Tools Macros Manage icon displays the macros to populate your record. Select the macro you're searching for. Click the macro and click Run. The macro will then populate your record with the appropriate information. Always remember that you run a macro. So when you wish to insert a macro into your record, select the macro and click Run. Do not click OK, as that will just close the macro box. For example, if you are enhancing your record to include the 043 for the geographic location of your item based on the information found in your subject headings, double-click on the Tools Macro Manage icon, click on Generate 043, and then click Run. Okay, these are macros that I tend to use the most. I particularly find the add 33x macro to be the most helpful, which obviously puts in those 336, 337, 338s into your record. And I also like the add edit 007 that either adds the 007 or you can edit the 007 that way. Okay, text strings are a useful tool that inserts often used information into the bibliographic record. Text strings are found in two different places. Click on Tools on the main toolbar, and the first option is text strings. You'll also find text strings in the quick tools for text strings and user tools. Text strings doesn't already show up on your, if text strings doesn't already show up on your toolbar, you can add it by looking in the toolbars from the View menu. If it's not checked, just check it, and the text strings and user toolbar will be added to the opening of your connection client. When you open the text strings menu, you can add a new text string. To add the data you want in the text string, click on the Add button. A new window will appear, which is Add Modify Text Strings. This is where you will add the data you want in the text string. Once the Add Modify Text String box open, you will add a description to your text string. So in this one, I want to add text string that will automatically insert into my record, includes bibliographic references and index. In my description, I'm going to call this text string the 504 since that's the MARC tag for this information. In the text string, I'll type includes bibliographic references and index with the period at the end. Remember to click OK to save the new text string. Then click Close if you are finished making text strings, or you can, if you need to add another one, you just click on Add and make another one. This information can then be easily inserted to the data portion of the bibliographic record. If you prefer, when you make your text string, you can include the tag, the spaces, or indicators in your text, and then you would just add a blank line to insert your text string. So for this particular text string, you would insert into your text area 504, and then blank blank, and then includes bibliographic references and index period to insert the entire string. So here's two examples of text strings. The first example places the text string for the genre heading Family Histories from the LCGFT thesaurus into the bibliographic record along with its proper MARC tag and indicators. The second example, the one on the right, demonstrates that your text string can have multiple MARC tags with different information. This text string places all the information into the bibliographic record for the sound qualities of a DVD. There are actually three different ways to add your text string to the bibliographic record. One way is to insert a blank line into your record. Use the pull-down arrow within the text strings toolbar, as shown in this example, and then to insert it, simply click on the name of your text string. The second way is to open the entire text strings box. After inserting a blank line in your record, choose the text string you wish to add to your record by highlighting it. Click on Apply and Close. The third way we'll talk about under shortcut keys and key maps. Okay, from this display, you can also modify or delete a text string. Click on the text string box, highlight the text string you wish to modify or delete, and click the appropriate box on the right-hand side of the display. If you modify a text string, make sure you click on Apply in order for your modification to stay in the text string toolbar. As you can see, I have a great number of text strings. In fact, this goes on and on. You can have as many as you like. And as a reminder, text strings follow the computer, not the login. Therefore, if you log into OCLC from a different computer, that computer will not have your saved text strings or anything else that you've added to your authorization, like for instance, putting the tools macro icon on top of on your toolbar. None of that would be on a different computer than your own. As mentioned before, there's three ways to add a text string, and the third way is to add a shortcut or key map to your text strings to quickly add your text string to your record, avoiding the two ways we've previously discussed. In the main navigation bar, click on Tools and Key Maps. Key Maps opens with the Display Command for Category radio button defaulting to Menu Item. You must change the radio button to Text in order to see the text strings you have added to your computer. Okay, on this slide I've added colors because there's a lot going on here. Now that your text strings are displayed, highlight the text string you want to add a shortcut key or key map to. In the box titled Press New Shortcut Key, type in the shortcut key you wish to use. In this case, the picture on the left, I've chosen the 5XX note for English subtitled for the deaf and hard of hearing, and I'm assigning the shortcut key of Alt plus H. The picture on the right displays an example of choosing a shortcut key that is already assigned to a different text string. In this case, I wanted to add a shortcut key for electronic book. I've chosen Alt plus G, but in this case, I will have to choose a different shortcut key if I want to populate my record with this information, because the text string Alt plus G is already assigned to the text string genealogy. In both views of your text string, you'll see the key maps or shortcut keys you've assigned to your text string. To enter your text string utilizing the shortcut key assigned to it, place your cursor in the bibliographic record, whether you're adding a blank line or adding to a line already in the record where you want the information to appear, and hit the shortcut key for the desired text string without opening up either other view of your text strings. Shortcut keys can also be assigned to macros already in OCLC. Some of my favorite macros that I've assigned shortcut keys are the Browse Authority Index, which allows you to search the authority file without typing a search. For this macro, you just need to place your cursor in the field in your bibliographic record that you want to search. For example, if you're searching a personal name, place your cursor in the line with the name you're searching using the shortcut key Alt plus A. The authority file Browse displays. Now you can open the authority record that most closely resembles the name you're looking for. If this is the correct authority record, then you can control the name through your normal controlling functions. I personally use F11, but I know there's several other ways to do this. If the authority record is different from what is in the record, for instance, the name you're searching, he or she really has a birth date or a middle name or something like that, you can then use your shortcut key of Alt plus I, which I've assigned to insert heading, which that inserts the correct heading into the record without using copy and paste. Then you can control the name through the normal controlling functions. And like I said, I use F11. The generate 043 control, I use Control plus Alt plus G. That inserts the geographic code into the bibliographic record according to the information present in the subject headings. I've assigned shortcut keys to fiction, juvenile literature, the 504, comic book strips, etc. The advantage of these is self-explanatory, and I use them because I have a terrible time spelling juvenile or fiction correctly. My fingers don't do the same thing my brain says. Okay, you can also delete a shortcut key that you're no longer using. You can open the key maps under the Tools tab, click on Organizer. You will see key maps 1 and key maps 2, with each having custom with a plus sign. Click on the plus sign in key maps 1 and all your assigned key maps appear. To delete a particular key map, just highlight the one you wish to delete, click on the delete button, and it will be deleted from your key maps. Okay, Classify. Classify is a Ferber-based prototype service to find classification numbers based on similar items and subjects. To utilize the Classify function in OCLC, you need to set your classification scheme. Click on Tools, Options, and Classify. Choose the classification scheme your library uses, whether it be Dewey or LC, and enter the mark tag you wish to appear in your records. Always remember to click on Apply and Close. When you're in the bibliographic record or work farm, simply click on the Edit tab of the toolbar and classify within the Edit menu. If a classification number is not easily obtained based on any of the standard numbers in your record, You will get a warning box stating so and asking if you want to open Classify interactively. Clicking yes to this question brings you into the interactive Classify service. Be aware that if you click no, you will exit out of the Classify service entirely. If you click yes, the interactive Classify window opens. From here, you can search for your classification number based on author, title, and subjects. Your search results will correspond with each area you're searching. In this example, we're searching the title in combination with the author. After clicking on Search, scroll down to get the results. Once you see the classification number, copy the number and click on Insert and Close. This number will be inserted into your bibliographic record using the mark tag you indicated in your setup of Classify. When using Classify, if you don't get any results based on title and author, you can also search by subject. The subject searches are based on available fast headings. In the subject heading box, type the subject you wish to base your classification number on. When you begin typing, subject headings options will appear. Click on the subject heading that best corresponds with your record. Be aware that fiction titles will be displayed as well as non-fiction titles. Once again, you'll need to scroll down to see the results. Within the results, you will find titles of other records that have the same subject heading. Make sure that you evaluate the number to ensure that it pertains to the aspect of the subject of your work. Click on the title to see the classification number used in that particular record, and if you're satisfied with the classification number, follow the same procedures as we described in the previous slides. So that's the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for participating in this presentation of Online with the CMC. At this time, we'll entertain questions you may have about macros and shortcuts in OCLC. And then after those questions have been answered, we can open up the discussion to any cataloging type questions you may have in general. And you please feel free to type your questions in the chat box, or you can unmute your microphone and ask the question verbally.
Hi, this is Pam again from IHLS. We don't have any questions right now, so like Sherry said, you can either unmute yourself and ask it, or you can type a question in the chat box. And I will not be answering any questions because I don't have any knowledge whatsoever, but Sherry does. Does anybody have any questions either about macros or other cataloging stuff? Sherry, you'll be posting your notes after the presentation, correct?
Yeah, I'll post them
on L2.
On L2, yeah.
Okay.
So I guess I'm kind of curious. I mean, I guess everyone already uses all these things, or is it all new to you?
All new to me.
I can't figure out where to get my chat, so I don't know if anyone's answering.
Nobody,
yeah.
Carmi Public Library said that no, this is all new information to them. To get your chat, if you like hover your mouse around and then click on that view options, I think at the top, or
yeah, I don't have.
Do you have chat at the bottom?
No, I don't, but that's okay. That's okay. I don't need to see
your mouse. Okay.
Yeah, I've tried that. I don't.
Okay, RSA says that Lisa and Rhonda use macros quite a bit at RSA. The text strings is especially helpful to know. We will be creating several. Thank you for sharing that tip. And then Dina Porter from MRP says, I use many shortcuts, but the generate geography area is a new one for me. I'll be adding it.
Okay.
So not really any questions, but just some
general comments.
Yes.
That's good.
Yeah. So does anybody else have any questions or comments? And again, you can unmute yourself if you want to actually talk. Or you can just chat in the chat box. RSA wants to know, when you update the client, do your customizations carry over? That's a good question.
They always have. However, yeah, I guess I always have even when I'm done it, but the way we do it now is our IT person does it, and he actually like saves a copy of my old one or something in case they wouldn't come over, because I would really cry if that happened. So, but I think even when I was doing it myself, they always did come over, and it seems odd that they did, but they always did.
So he does a backup for you.
Okay. Yeah. Just in case, because I mean the text strings that I showed in that one slide, maybe it had like 15. I think I have over 50 in there, and some of them I don't really use anymore because I don't do that type of cataloging anymore, so I could get rid of them, but then I'm always afraid that what if I do that type of cataloging again, so I just keep them in there.
Okay, and Dina Porter asked, how do you remember and keep straight all of your macros? I usually forget I have them.
Well, I guess that's a personal thing. I use them all the time.
Right.
And in fact, I have macros in OCLC and I have macros in our ILS, and a lot of them they're different. And I just because I use them all the time, I remember them more in OCLC. But I really try to type as little as possible when I make a new record, so I just use them all the time. And it's just, I mean, just over time, I guess you remember them just like you remember, you know, the different mark tags. It's just something.
Right.
Yeah.
But it helps if you use them.
It helps. Yeah. Yeah. You need to use them a lot.
Okay.
And I do. I never type, like for instance, I never ever type juvenile fiction. I never type fiction. I never type genealogy. I never type family histories, and those are the ones I use a lot. I never type includes bibliographic. I just use them so much, and I never ever type them.
Okay. And then RSA said, thank you. We will look into a backup before updating. Glad client doesn't have many updates. Lisa here at RSA has a post-it cheat sheet with her desktop shortcuts. That might help you, Dina. So
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people do that, but too is just have a cheat sheet. And I should probably do that for our ILS because I don't remember those a lot. I remember some of them, but it's because they're different, because OCLC uses so many of their own shortcut keys that it's really sometimes hard to find one. Yeah, so it's interesting, but I guess I have a brain that just remembers those things. I can't remember most things, but I can, for some reason, I can remember that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sherry, the macro queen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I am I can catalog pretty quickly because I have a lot of shortcuts that I use.
And I did want to mention to Dina that the 043 geographic area code is in the macros that are already in OCLC, but of course you can make a shortcut key for it if you want to.
Yeah, I thought that's what she meant. She wanted to make a shortcut key for it.
I guess I just didn't know whether she meant she never used the macro or she didn't have a shortcut key for it. So just wanted to mention that.
Yeah. And that was Shelley Stone, by the way.
Yes.
So I'm wondering if anyone uses classify, because that's one I actually forget to use a lot. But I've been using it recently because when I did this presentation, I'm like, oh yeah, I should start using that. And not that I mean, I use it and then just to get an idea, and then I go and, you know, look at the the Dewey number to make sure that it's with the one I want. But it sometimes sometimes I'll use Web Dewey and I don't know a number, I can't figure it out. So then I'll use the classify and, oh yeah, that's where I should look. So I think it is a useful tool. It's not one I would 100% count on, but it is a useful tool to get you started in the right direction. So I just wondered if other people use that, because that's a fairly new function in OCLC, like maybe 5 years or so, maybe a little longer, but it hasn't been there for forever, that's for sure.
Dina Porter says that she loves Classify.
Good.
And M. Diverger says, I use Classify quite a lot when I am deciding between two numbers. And Gloria Hendrickson says, I use it all the time, but I didn't know you can add it to the client. So hopefully that will help improve Gloria's workflow then.
Yeah. It's in the client already. You just have to set your scheme.
Right.
Yeah.
She probably just didn't know about
Yeah.
that part of it. So does anybody have any questions or comments from today's presentation? And don't forget to fill out the evaluation on L2. You will have to be logged in and then go to My Events, and the evaluation is there. M. Buckley wants to know, does this also work for LC? Classify, yes, because you showed that on the slide, right? That you could choose either LC
Yes.
or Dewey. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay, and I'm going to put in chat our upcoming webinars. So next month we're doing added titles, and then in December mark fixed fields, and then in January the future of cataloging. But we are also open for any future topics that you would like us to cover. We'll probably be taking a short break and then resume some more in the spring. So are there any other comments or questions? Again, you can either use the chat box or you can unmute yourself.
Are there any general cataloging questions that you might have? About
She's
not
just
this,
talking
but
to
about
me.
just about anything?
She means all of you, yeah.
Oh, yeah, yes. Not Pam.
No. RSA says, have you used any macros outside those LC provides?
I personally have not. I know that one of our employees, Robert, uses some that has been provided by, oh, now I'm not going to remember his name.
Joel Hahn.
Yeah, Joel Hahn, and there's another person who also provides macros, but a lot of them, I can't remember one that Joanne used, but that she added, but it didn't really, it wasn't something that I really needed. I can't remember now what it was, but I think Robert in our Champaign office does add some macros to connection through Joel Hahn and the other person, but I personally have not.
Is it Gary Strawn maybe? I know when I
No,
worked.
I don't remember what his name is, but they're on the, I think they're on the OCLC. I think they're on the OCLC website.
Okay. RSA did add that they've used some from Joel Hahn, but they don't always work correctly.
Yeah, and a lot of them, I didn't see the point in them.
Okay. And Laura, and I'm not going to try to pronounce her last name, says thank you. It was very informative. And then Dina Porter says, yesterday I came across several bib records where the 020 field just said price. I've never seen this before. Are we to do anything with it?
It just said the word price.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she said price in quotes.
Yes, I think I would delete that myself. I mean, you could put the price in. I don't, yeah. That's kind of a odd thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I think I would either add the price to it in the subfield C, or I would just delete that entirely.
Or add the ISBN, right?
Oh, you said, oh, it didn't even have the ISBN. Oh.
No, it just seems like she's saying it just had
Oh.
the word price in the 020 field, and that was it.
Oh,
A.
that
Felix
is
said,
interesting.
sounds like someone might have copied and pasted just the price part and forgot the ISBN
Yeah.
number altogether. Dina said she just deleted it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, because that's not helpful to anyone.
Right.
Sorry.
Right.
Sorry,
No.
whoever created that record.
Yeah. True. Yeah. It's funny the things that you'll run across in some of these records, and you just really like, how did this happen?
Jane Z says the August 2017 recorded catalogers training session on the Share website has more info about the outside source macros, which we probably should have known. So
Yeah.
thanks, Jane. A. Felix asks, but it is okay if the ISBN number is there with the price and subfield C afterwards, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
And then RSA said, thanks, or that's helpful to know, Jane, thanks, about the recorded catalogers training session.
But those are on the Moodle site, so don't they have to have a login to be able to get to those recorded sessions?
Probably.
So we may need to share that recording
Possibly.
as
Or
a
we,
handout maybe, or
yeah. How do you want to share that?
I suppose we could just put a link to that recording on L2 with this
Session?
session.
Okay. L. Murphy says thank you. And Carmi says thank you. So, all right, everybody, thank you. And hopefully you'll log in next month.
Thank you.
Thanks.